guys, welcome to our writing channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to write a poem, and we're going to be talking about 4 different types of poems that you can write. Now there are many other kinds of poems, but we're only going to study 4, and those 4 poems are acrostic poems, Diamonte poems, ABC poems, and rhyming poems. Okay, so what elements make up poetry? While there are many different elements that make up poetry, we're going to talk about 4 different elements. One element is alliteration. Alliteration is when you have a string of words that all begin with the same sound, such as Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. What sound do you hear at the beginning of that word? That's right, you hear the P sound made by the letter P. Another element that you can use in your poetry writing is repetition. Repetition is when you use the same word over and over and over again, and in doing that you're stressing its importance in your poem. The third element that makes up poetry is rhyme. Words that rhyme have the same sound at the end. And so when you're writing a poem, on each line, if you have words at the end of each line that sound the same, then you've created a rhyme. The fourth element that we're going to talk about that makes up poetry is rhythm. Rhythm is what gives your poem movement. And you've talked about rhythm in your music class. Rhythm is when you have a steady beat with your poem that gives it that fluid movement that makes it easy for the reader to read. The first poem we're going to talk about is an acrostic poem. In acrostic poems, the first letter of the first word in each line spells out a word. Usually that word is spelled out because it's the subject of the poem or what the poem is all about. Here's an example. Alyssa loves lemons and limes. Yum! She sits and she sours as she eats each slice. What word is spelled out by the first letter in each of those words in each line? That's right, the name Alyssa. So you can decipher from that this acrostic poem is about a person named Alyssa. And fun fact, that's Mrs. Brandon's name. If you didn't know, now you know. The next type of poem we're going to talk about is a Diamonte poem. To write a Diamonte poem, you need to understand 3 things. First, you need to understand nouns, then you need to understand verbs, and then you need to understand adjectives. The verbs and the adjectives describe the noun, and it is made up of 7 lines, and it also kind of looks like a diamond, which I think is really cool. Nouns are people, places, or things. Verbs are actions like running, jumping, or swimming. And adjectives are words we use to describe that noun. Here's an example. Florida, frothy, sunny, swimming, sailing, storming, a place where oceans and cities collide. Driving, biking, fishing, artsy, joyous, Jacksonville. So as you can see in my poem, we're talking about the state of Florida and all of the things that make up Florida. It's sunny, the ocean is frothy because the waves have been crashing back and going back and forth, and there's swimming and there's sailing, and sometimes it storms. But we live in Jacksonville, and that's a city in Florida. And in Jacksonville, we do a lot of driving. We might ride our bike a lot, or we might go fishing. If you go downtown, you can see all of the cool artwork. And people here are just so friendly that it's just such a joyous place. It's so full of joy. To write your own Diamonte poem, I've provided this layout for you. First, you begin with a topic. Then you give 2 adjectives about that topic. Next, you give 3 words that end with ing to describe your topic. Then in the 4th line, you want to write a short phrase about your topic. Then, you're going to write 3 more words that end with ing that are going to describe your topic that's at the bottom of your Diamonte poem, with 2 adjectives to follow in the second to last line about that final topic. But your 2 topics have to be related, so keep that in mind. The next type of poem we're going to talk about is the ABC poem. These are really fun because you use every letter of the alphabet. Here's an example. Okay, as you can see, I have my A, B, C, D, E, F written out on the side. Apples are amazing. Bananas are bold. Carrots are cute. Dragon fruit is divine. Eggplant tastes like rotten eggs. Fruits and vegetables are good for you. So even though there's no rhyme, and there really isn't any rhythm, you notice there's alliteration, which is the repeating of sounds at the beginning of words, and it's just kind of fun. Can you come up with your own ABC poem? And the last type of poem I want to discuss with you are poems that rhyme. When a poem rhymes, usually there are words that have the same end sound placed at the end of a line. Here's an example. The cat in the hat sat on the mat. Here, you can hear the rhyme and the rhythm. When you rhyme, rhythm usually follows. The cat in the hat sat on the mat. I want you to pick a poem, a type of poem to write today, and I want you to share that with me either on Class Dojo or here on Microsoft Teams. I look forward to reading your poems, and I hope you have a great day.